is not no. He doesn't understand why he's talking about. Why? Because the verse here is not talking to you, my friend. It's talking to the Prophet. And it wasn't for Allah's favor on you. Allah taught you. Allah is not talking to you, my friend. Allah is talking to the Prophet there. So when Allah said you didn't have the Quran revealed on you, Allah is talking to the Prophet. Here Allah is saying to the Prophet, not you, my friend, who you see the cycle and equations and I don't know what you see when you read the Quran. Allah is saying to the Prophet, He revealed to the Prophet the Quran, the book.
Right.
And He revealed to the Prophet and something else, which is the wisdom. So there is another revelation according to the Quran,
right,
other than the Quran, called wisdom. So that's the point.
The Arabic word is hikmah?
Hikmah, yes.
Right.
Hikmah. I'm using English for
right,
you.
So
where I answered, and it says it comes from two roots, ihkam and hukm. And then I explained what these two roots are. I don't know you were somewhere else when I explaining that or not, but I was explaining here, yeah? So I clearly explained what hikmah is. Let's not run away from the topic again.
Yeah.
Here, there is something other than the Quran called the hikmah that Allah Azza wa Jal has revealed as revelation to the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam. Where is that hikmah? That the Prophet received, other than the Quran. Not you, not me, no one else. Allah is saying to you, O Prophet, we reveal to you the hikmah. Not only that, Allah said to the Prophet, He is going to teach us the hikmah. وَيُعَلِّمُكُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةِ He teaches you the kitab and He teaches you the hikmah. So Allah revealed it to him.
Yeah.
The Prophet was teaching it to us. And it's something which is being mentioned as well. In chapter 33 of the Quran, Allah Azza wa Jal says, وَاذْكُرْنَ مَا يُتْلَى فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّ مِنْ آيَاتِ اللَّهِ وَالْحُكْمِ So the hikmah is something that is being recited. So we have something being recited. Revelation from Allah Azza wa Jal, other than the Quran, and the Prophet was teaching it. If that's not clear evidence that Allah Azza wa Jal has revealed the hadith, which is what the Prophet was teaching, is explaining to the people, and the people, the companions, the people who came later on recorded the statements of the Prophet, I don't know what's clear.
Okay.
If it's not clear, we can know that the hadith is the hikmah from what? Because the hadith is the statements and the teachings of the Prophet ﷺ. And Allah is saying the hikmah is what the Prophet is going to teach you. So if I have the teachings...
But this is assumption.
Brother, you are interrupting me. I'll let you finish your point, yeah? Okay. If you want interruption, I can easily let you speak. I don't mind. Now, I'm saying... You said to me, what is the evidence? Is the hadith. I'm giving you the evidence. Allah said the Prophet is going to teach it. We have the teaching of the Prophet. Therefore, the hadith is the hikmah because the hadith is the teaching of the Prophet. Hadith is not made up science that someone made, but it's the teachings of the Prophet ﷺ. Therefore, it's clear-cut evidence that the hadith is the other revelation that Allah Azza wa Jalla is talking about here.
Clear-cut evidence means the words
yes, this
from
one.
Allah.
This one. This one.
Chapter
4, 113.
No, that means that separates the Quran and the hikmah.
And also, Quran also says it's being taught. It's the teaching of the Prophet.
Right.
Okay. Quran also says it's something which is being mentioned.
Teaches it?
It's
the
statements.
Prophet?
The Prophet, yes.
No, Allah teaches you. He just said that.
Bro, let me give you the evidence.
No,
you want to see the Prophet teaching you?
No, but let's stick to that.
I'm saying the Prophet teaching you.
Don't change
the
Prophet.
Verse. No, the Prophet teaching you.
You're going to change the verse now. Watch him change the verse.
No, you said to me.
Don't change the verse.
Let's not change the verse. Let's talk about the verse.
What did it say? And He taught you what you never knew. What, the Prophet?
Allah taught the Prophet. Allah taught the Prophet.
Right, okay,
yes.
so...
He taught him the Quran and taught him the hikmah. Then the Prophet taught us the hikmah. What is the problem? Bro, look, I know you know inside of you know in your heart, this doesn't make any sense.
I don't have all the knowledge.
Okay.
But what I do know
that's a humble position. It's a humble position. I respect that.
Not the right thing.
I respect you say I don't know. You saying I don't know, that's fine. That's a respectful position to have. Now I'm here teaching you. If you're rejecting the information I'm giving you, the explanations I'm giving you, the evidences I'm giving you, then you should have a valid reason. You can say I don't know, it's okay. When I go to an agnostic person, he says to me, I don't know God exists. That's fine, as a beginning position. But when I start giving you evidence demonstrating that the Creator exists, and you reject it, then it's no longer a position of ignorance, it's a position of rejection. It's juhud. You know so far, look, what we demonstrated so far is that there is a separate revelation other than the Quran called the hikmah. Now you're questioning what is the hikmah. In the beginning you said there is no other revelation other than the Quran.
Like I said, I'm not perfect.
Okay, sure, I'm telling you, no problem. It's okay. I agree with you, no issues, no problem. Right? Now we're saying Allah Azza wa Jal here mentioned that the hikmah is a revelation, correct?
Yes.
Allah Azza wa Jal, did He say in the Quran He's going to protect His revelation or not?
Yes.
Okay. So if the hikmah is a revelation, that means Allah is going to protect the revelation. Me and you will see the revelation of the hikmah like we see the revelation of the Quran. Only thing we have today which is present, representative of the hikmah, is the hadith, which is the teaching of the Prophet, because we know the hikmah is the teaching of the Prophet. Now if Allah protects His revelation, then we will see it just like He protected the Quran, He's going to protect the hadith. Based on that, we believe that the hadith is the sunnah and the hikmah that we should follow. That me and you should follow. And another evidence.
But you're making not all of it.
The ones you don't believe in, I'm talking about.
Okay.
What is it?
The ones that are not that contradict.
What do we call hadith? What do we call hadith? When I say
What do you
hadith,
call it? I don't know. What do you call
okay, let me explain to you. Maybe this is the issue now.
Right.
What we call hadith is the saying, the statements of the Prophet ﷺ,
Right.
his actions, what he did,
I said
and why.
sayings, you said no.
My
I
brother,
said
you said sayings, you didn't say the Prophet. By hadith, we're not referring to the Quran. Quran is not the Prophet's words. That's why you're misunderstanding. It's not just any sayings, it's the prophetic sayings. We are saying this, the hadith is the prophetic sayings, teachings, the actions that he did and he taught us to do, and what he agreed upon when the people were doing, he said, that's fine, you can do this, right? Iqrarat. That which is authentic, that we have of a chain of narration, people narrated it, they were trustworthy, they were honest. We have a chain of narration going back to the Prophet ﷺ, uninterrupted chain. That's what we call my statement. The hadith is the teachings of the Prophet ﷺ, his sayings.
Yeah.
Now, what did we just demonstrate now the hikmah was?
You demonstrated that you
From the Quran. No, from the Quran.
Right, so from the Quran it says that there is the divine revelation that
It's a divine revelation,
right.
and it's being taught.
Right, by God.
No, by the Prophet. Allah says, وَيُعَلِّمُكُمْ. The Prophet is going to teach you. So I'm saying the Prophet will teach us. So it's something that is going to be taught by the Prophet. It's divine revelation and it's statements and teachings. Now, if you say the hikmah, statements and teachings and divine revelation that went on the Prophet ﷺ that he was explaining, and the hadith statements and teachings, divine revelation that the Prophet ﷺ said, what is the assumption? My positive note is this: I'm inviting you to follow the guidance of the Prophet ﷺ. وَإِنَّ أَحْسَنَ الْهَدِي هَدِي مُحَمَّدٍ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم. And the best of guidance is the guidance of the Prophet ﷺ. I'm inviting you to follow what the Quran says in chapter 16 verse 43, where Allah says that the Prophet ﷺ is going to make clear to us the Quran, is going to clarify through the revelation, which is the hikmah. I'm inviting you, my brother, to follow that, follow the Quran, because nothing is going to help you on the day of judgment other than doing that. Allah Azza wa Jalla says in the Quran, وَيَوْمَ يُنَادِيكُمْ, and the day when He calls you, on the day of judgment, مَاذَا أَجَبْتُمِ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. What did you respond to the messengers? Allah is going to call on the day of judgment, and He's going to say, you let me finish my positive note? You will let me finish my positive note? And then I'll let you speak. I'll let you speak. Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying on the day of judgment, He's going to question you about the prophets. What did you respond to the prophets? He's not going to question you about anything else. Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying in the Quran that the Prophet makes halal and makes haram. يُحِلُّ لَكُمُ الطَّيِّبَاتِ وَيُحَرِّمُ عَلَيْكُمُ الْخَبَائِثِ. The Prophet is making halal and haram according to Allah. Chapter 7 of the Quran, verse 157. I'll give you references. Allah is saying the Prophet is making halal and haram. And Allah is saying you have to obey him, and He was questioning you on the day of judgment.
But he cannot
so my
talk
advice,
of his own. He cannot talk of his own unless with
I
Allah's
agree.
permission.
I agree.
Right,
That's
so
why the
I'm
hadith is
following
revelation.
Allah.
It's not from his own.
Right.
That's why Allah
But
taught
you
him what he
have-
didn't know.
you